Welcome to Moving Forward with my host,
Karen Casino.
and myself, Ryan White. We're here with Cindy Grossman. She's the Executive Director of Kids Turn San Diego. And Kids Turn San Diego is a nonprofit organization helping families going through divorce. Kids Turn San Diego provides workshops and classes to work directly with parents and children to find ways to empower children to express their feelings and thoughts, and to provide skills and strategies to improve communication and interaction with the whole family. Cindy is here to give us some helpful tips on managing co-parenting during the busy times.
I know firsthand, because I work in this profession, how helpful Kids Turn San Diego has been to children in our community to help them navigate through co-parenting situations during busy times. So I know you have 3 tips. Why don't you tell us about the first tip to help these families navigate through these co-parenting issues?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today. You know, here's the thing with children in divorced families or children living in 2 homes. They're going to be as okay as the parents are okay. So if a parent's a hot mess, the children are going to be a hot mess. So that's not really a tip, but it's an important thing to remember. So when the co-parent requests, for example, vacation time or time away in the summer, whether it's holiday time or summer vacation, spring break, oftentimes those requests will come, I want to take 2 weeks, I want to take 3 weeks. If it's summer, it might be 3, holiday time might be 3. And here's what we like to tell parents. If your children go with their other parent for 3 weeks, you're going to be okay. So tip number 1 is you are going to survive. You will be okay without your children, and they will be okay without you. So instead of staying in the conflict and arguing with it, why not just agree and say, it's not my preference, if that's how you feel about it, but okay, our children can go and travel with you on summer vacation or the holiday time. And could we arrange phone calls or FaceTimes? So that you have the sense of saying yes, but yet you get to do other stuff, which leads me to tip number 2. So if your children go away for an extended vacation time with their other parent, here's the tip. Make it about you. Let them go. They're going to have a great time. They're going to see sights that they otherwise wouldn't see. If we can sit in gratitude for what the co-parent is now presenting to our children have this amazing time. And instead of sitting back and being miserable, I guess the tip is realize that you have a choice. You could be miserable and you can cry for 3 weeks and oh my goodness, I miss my children so much. Or you could say, well, our children are with their other parent. What am I going to do in 3 weeks? And do something fun for yourself. Go on a family vacation. Go visit your own family. Go out with your best friend. Hit some movies. Go to the mall. Whatever you don't normally get to do because you're a parent.
Right.
You can let go of that role as a parent while your kids are with the other parent, and you can make it about me.
I can give you all a list of places you could go, and things you could do. Hit me up and I'll tell you the places you can go without your children and have a great time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, and I guess the third tip would be, because is more the how and the what. Because oftentimes parents who reach out to us, either they're in our programs or they'll call and they're struggling. Like, how do you manage this? I can't believe they want to take our kids for 3 weeks or 2 weeks or whatever it might be. And so here's a tip for how you might respond to that, right? And some would call it higher road communication. Some would call it business-like communication. They're pretty much the same. What we would say is the choice is yours. So you get to choose the words that you put into that communication. So for example, you might say, okay, so I agree for you to take our kids from, let's say, December 15th to January 3rd, 2024, or 2024. Here's a tentative phone call or FaceTime schedule that I created. but it's flexible. So you tell me what it should look like. But please know I would like to have communication with our children, some frequency. And as I'm agreeing to this, I'm requesting my vacation time next year for the same time period of 2 or 3 weeks, and give the dates. So you look at the calendar and you can go, okay, if they're with the co-parent this year for the holidays for 3 weeks, I'd like them to be with me for 3 weeks. And you look at the calendar and let's say it's, I don't know, December 20th through January 5th. So you say, and I would like our children, my vacation to be from December 2024 through January 5th, 25.
Got it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And now you send that off. And now you're in a place of business-like negotiating. There's no feelings, there's no emotions, because I guess that's part of another tip, if you will, is that when we can keep our emotions out of it, we're able to communicate more clearly, and we can think outside the box. Like, who would think or plan a year ahead?
Sure.
Right? Very few people would be thinking about the end of 2024, as we're barely even close to this end of this year right now, so, or any year that it might be. So, but if you can get out of the emotion, you can be clearer in your head and put it out there. Because if I said to my co-parent, I'll agree, here's some phone call schedules, and my vacation time will be, next year we're not going to have to deal with this because it's already done. Right?
Yes.
Or
I see that.
summertime. It's already taken care of. And the other parent sees that you're being flexible, and you want to make sure that you also have that equivalent time with your children, because most, as you know, most court orders speak to the weeks of vacation. So those
Good
are my
plan.
biggest tips.
Those
are
are some
great
very
tips.
specific, actionable tips to navigate, for sure. And one thing you mentioned that really resonated with me is the home is only as calm as the parents are. And that, just as you sat here and talked about that seems like a really significant underlying theme with everything that you said.
It really is, Ryan. I'm glad you picked up on that, because, you know, the reality is that when children live in 2 homes, for them, they just live in 2 homes. They have a room and maybe a desk or space at this home and a kitchen over here. And then in this place, they have a room and a kitchen and maybe a desk over here. And they have toys over here, toys over here. If they're teenagers, they have music here, games here, games there. That's what it's like for children. But parents get so stuck. They really get stuck in the emotion and the loss of their children. And I guess a final tip might even be, if you find yourself stuck if you're in high conflict or conflictual relationships with the co-parent, I guess a strategy or a tip could be, if you can grieve or forgive yourself for whatever you're conflicted about, reach out for resources, come to any of our programs. You know, we have family workshops for separated and divorced families, as well as our high conflict program, cooperative co-parenting. Lots of resources available here in San Diego County. But however you make that happen for yourself, get support. Figure out how you grieve the loss, because if you're staying in conflict, you're stuck in emotion. And so the tip might be, if we can get you unstuck from the emotion, now your house is calmer. And your kids can just navigate and go back and forth from one home to the next. And they're just fine.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. Cindy just dropped some knowledge on us. She provided us with a variety of very specific tips that one can do to navigate co-parenting during the busy times. Her website is kidsturnsd.org. That's the website, kidsturnsd.org. Cindy, thanks for joining us.
Thanks
Thank
for
you so
joining
much
us.
for having me today.
Thank you.